Let's see if this is fake news. VP Sara's impeachment isn't the real issue, the country is. Vice President Inday Sara Duterte is nothing more than a diversion, a smokescreen for the real problem this administration doesn't want you to focus on. While the public is being made to fixate on her impeachment, here's what's actually happening in the country. February 3, 2025. Agriculture Secretary Francisco T. Laurel Jr. declared a food security emergency as rice prices skyrocketed to extraordinary levels. This, despite the Philippines being the world's top rice importer, a humiliating failure for an agricultural nation. February 4th, 2025, the Supreme Court ordered House Speaker Martin Romualdez, Senate President Chiz Escudero, and Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin to respond to a petition questioning the constitutionality of the 2025 General Appropriations Act, GAA. The reason? President Bongbong Marcos signed the budget even with blank spaces in the bicameral report, a blatant red flag for corruption and legal violations. February 4th, 2025. During Supreme Court oral arguments, it was revealed that PhilHealth is bankrupt, a catastrophic failure of the country's healthcare system. And yet, this administration completely slashed PhilHealth's budget. These are urgent national crises. But instead of addressing them, the government is busy draining public funds and covering its tracks. Even key political figures are speaking out. Former Senate President Franklin Dryland called the 2025 budget the most corrupt in Philippine history. Meanwhile, Senator Amy Marcos, BBM's own sister, described it as the worst budget she has ever seen. The impeachment case is a distraction from their own corruption. February 4th, 2025, the House of Representatives summoned social media bloggers and vloggers who support the Dutertes for free. It quickly became obvious that the goal was to cite them in contempt and detain them, possibly keeping them locked up until after the elections. And just like that, Vice President Sara's impeachment was suddenly pushed forward. Few days ago, a closed-door caucus was held, either in the Speaker's office or at Romualdez Hall. Some committee hearings were even canceled just to prioritize this meeting. The goal? A unified stance on Vice President Sara's impeachment. Who led the rush to gather signatures? Representative Jeanette Guerin. And here's an interesting detail. Some sources claim that lawmakers running unopposed in their districts were pressured into signing the impeachment resolution. Why? Because they wouldn't have to worry about backlash from Iglesia Ni Cristo, INC, whose block vote carries significant weight. The impeachment momentum has been carefully built up since last night. To be fair, there are whispers that President Marcos was consulted twice, and while he didn't openly endorse the impeachment, Speaker Romualdez charged ahead anyway. Make no mistake, this is Martin Romualdez's operation. He is the mastermind of this entire political maneuver. Congressmen from Visayas and Mindanao reportedly hesitated at first, but in the end, 215 signatures were secured. And just like that, Vice President Sara dominates the headlines. Siya na ang usapan ng bayan. We're no longer talking about the blank spaces in the budget or the other burning issues. Expect Romualdez's allies, especially the young guns attack dogs, to flood the media with press conferences and impeachment drama, drowning out the real problems. The food security crisis, the unconstitutional budget, PhilHealth's bankruptcy, the weaponization of Congress against critics. This is why I say VP Sara's impeachment isn't the real issue. The country is. Filipinos, wake up.